Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 13 of the April daily draws. So as we start a new week, let's see what message we get, and I'll be taking the first card from the Good Fortune Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. Let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We'll go there. The Knight of Swords. So we're starting off the week with some action, some decisions made, some plans put into motion, some words said, maybe some messages conveyed and sent and delivered, some correspondence, some emails maybe that we're communicating, anything that we're actively communicating, giving verbal instructions, as I say, sending a text message, making a phone call, a video call, however it may be that we're communicating, we're doing it with a purpose. We're doing it because we've got a certain reason in mind that we want to, and of what we want to communicate. Maybe we want to communicate an idea that we've had, and we want to enlist other people's contribution and thoughts on the matter. So we may be starting a discussion and a debate about something, but with a view to taking action. Because this is the night. This is not just idle sort of thinking and debate. No, not that debate has to be idle. That probably was the wrong word to use. But you know what I mean? It's not all in theory, I think is what I meant to say. That we can talk a lot about things and share different opinions and arguments, but at the end of the day, that's all that happens and nothing really gets done. That's what I mean. So there's a lot of talking going on sometimes, but not a lot gets done about what we've been talking about. And there's some merit to that, to having a discussion where we explore ideas. I'm not saying that that's something we shouldn't be doing, but at this time, it's our thinking and our words, and it's more active. It's more to try and do something and achieve something with a purpose, focused. We've got something that we want to achieve. He's going there focused with his sword pointing here very clearly, and he's going in that direction. He's going with purpose, intent, and he's on a mission. And that maybe is how we're starting this week, that we're on a mission to get some things done. And, we're not going to spend too much time sitting there thinking about it. We're just going to get on and do it. And that's probably the energy that we need to start off this week with. We need to shake off that Monday morning feeling where we perhaps don't feel that like doing much, but maybe we have no choice. Maybe there are things that need to be done and we can't just hang around and just think about them. They need to get done. We need to be on it. And that's probably what this Knight of Swords is indicating for us. There are things to simply to be done. Yes, we need to have an idea about what we're doing and how we're going to do it, but it's the doing bit that's the main focus here. Because all the thinking and planning is worth nothing if it doesn't lead to positive action. So I believe that is the key message of the Knight of Swords to us as we start this week. Now, at some point, there may be time to pause and reflect and think about our next step or assess where we're at. But as we start the week, that's not the case. We're not here to sit and evaluate, to assess. That comes later. We probably know exactly what we need to do. And maybe we've been putting it off, maybe we've been mulling it over, maybe in order to put it off. But now is the time to actually do it. The action is needed, and we can wait no longer. So the time to act is now. Let's get on with it. Let's get things into motion. And maybe later on we can pause for reflection to see where our progress has brought us to. But now is not the time for that. That'll come later. Maybe the cards later in the week will indicate the timing of when that is most beneficial. But for now, it's time for action. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we go with that. Okay, it's spring, but actually, in some respect, the opposite of spring is autumn, isn't it? Like summer is the opposite of winter, spring is the opposite of autumn, and somewhere in the earth, they're having, in the southern hemisphere, perhaps they're having an autumn kind of season. But we can also have, the energy of autumn at any time of the year. Yes, it's more predominant actually in the autumn or the fall, to my American friends. But the key, I think, here is a message here from the raven or the rook, whatever it is. Release the old and rest. Now, isn't what did they say about they turn up a card where we cease from our doing something? This is the rest part. This is the action, the active part. They seem contradictory. So how do they go hand in hand? What is the link between them? Well, maybe the actions, I don't know, maybe the actions are part of the release in the old. Because we've come out of, or coming out, or come out into, I mean, we technically should be out of winter now. May not always feel like it, but as you start into the spring, you sort of brush away a lot of the residue of things you don't need anymore, that sat around during the winter, and you make room for the new things that are coming in as things are taking off now in the spring. And maybe just the same as perhaps, the shedding of the leaves in the autumn is part of the getting rid of the old, releasing the old. So there may be some, maybe we're chucking out some old things, some possessions that we no longer need. Maybe they were appropriate, maybe donating them to charity. We're clearing out some space, perhaps, decluttering, things that we don't need anymore. We're actively getting rid of, so that could be the action. So it could be part of the releasing part where the action is taking place. That might be the kind of action that's relevant to us. And then when we've done some of that, maybe then is a time to pause, to rest. After we've done that, to reflect on, well, how did that go? What progress have I made? Is there anything else left to release in order to make way for the new? So it may be actions with a purpose for releasing things we don't need anymore and making way for the new, preparing the way. That might be the actions that we're taking, so that then we can, after that we've done that, we can rest and evaluate and see where we're at and what we've got room for. So that may be what the cards are saying today. Okay, so that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 14. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.